everyone, welcome back to episode 2 of RT. RT means resilient together, which will give you the stories and different ways to support the single parents and everyone, women. And these episodes are for everyone. So last week we discussed some things related to the single mother, their lives, and all the other things which they suffer. So if you have missed, please make sure to watch it. And today we have a super important topic that is financial planning for single parents. Being a single parent comes with a lot of challenges, and one of the toughest can be managing finances. But don't worry, because today we have a special guest who will give you the brief discussion about all the things who like in her life is managing lots of things, lots of organization, which is a brave thing. So we have got you covered today with some practical strategies that can help you create financial stability for yourself and your family.
So we are here. We are so excited to have a guest with us today who knows all about this topic. Our guest, Stacy Thomas, is a financial advisor and budgeting coach who has years of experience helping single parents and families take control of their finances. Welcome to the podcast, Stacy Thomas.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Hi, we are looking forward to diving into the one because basically I have a friend. She is a single mother, so I know how overwhelming the finance can be and how it feels. It's tough to balance everything. Hopefully, we will come away with some tips that things make the little easier. So let's start it.
So
Okay.
yes. So, Stacey, we are going to start with the basics of budgeting. So, we have some quick questions for you. To kick things off, let's talk about budgeting. So, could you explain what a budget is and why it is so crucial for a single parent, woman, or anyone?
Okay, yes. So in general, budgeting is where you want to allocate a certain amount of money and different areas of your life for what you need. Like, for example, you might have a budget for your groceries. You might have a budget for if you want to go out at night and party, or you might have a budget for your daycare expenses. So you want to have a budget for each aspect of your life so that you're able to stay on track. And you could have a budget for saving, right? So basically, just like you have a GPS that, it keeps you on track, so if you go on track, it'll say recalculating. So if you have a budget, kind of like a shopping list, if you go in a store, when you have that shopping list, you stick to it and you get exactly what you need. But if you go there without your GPS, you get lost sometimes, right? You go to the grocery store, you end up buying a lot more things than if you had a list. So a budget is just a simple way to say it like that. Mhm.
And what are some of the most common financial challenges you see single parents facing when they are starting out with budgeting?
Oh, okay. Well, I think that there's quite a few, I would say, some things that could be out of your control when you're a single parent. And one major cost would be daycare, right? So a lot of people, they find that, oh my goodness, they don't really understand the expense of for daycare. So many moms or dads, whoever is the single parent, sometimes they're unable to even go back to work because of the cost of daycare. So some things that are kind of a little bit, uh, you have to see if you can find some other alternatives. Family members, like they say, it takes a village to raise a child. So that would be for independent parents. Just those type of expenses sometimes can be a little overwhelming and challenging for new parents, especially.
Yeah, uh, I know for my friend, one of the biggest challenges like making budgets for both groceries and bills, but also planning for the things like birthday party and the other extra activities. So, do you have any advice on how single parents can manage these competing priorities?
For sure, definitely. So, basically, in general, you want to have certain things allocated. So just like I said before, so if you want to have a party, you know you want X amount of money, you want to start saving towards that. So you want to pay yourself first. So you want to have that bill, right? So if it is the Rikita bill, you want to have that bill and keep paying into it every single pay, even if it's $1. So even if you only have $1, 10 cents for you're going to pay yourself first 10%, then 10% you pay your tithes or whatever it is charity that you do, and then you still have 80% to pay all of your bills and to buy your groceries and to take care of everything else. So I would say paying yourself first is one of the key components in making sure that you have enough of that discretionary money to do the things that you want to do.
Well,
Right.
well, that's really helpful. Yes, like firstly, think about ourselves is very necessary, and because if we are like able to do the things, we have knowledge regarding the things, we can do anything. So that is really amazing advice. Thank you, Stacy. So now, like when it comes to creating a budget, there are lots of strategies, or there one method that's often recommended is the 50-30-20 rule. And can you explain how that works and if it's good strategy for single parents?
Sure. Actually, if you're able to let me share my screen, I can just also show you a visual of it as well. Sometimes it's easier to actually see. So if I can share my screen, then I will show you what it is all about.
Yes, you can share, please.
Okay. So I think you have to give me all hosting rights or co-hosting rights in order for me to share because it says I can't share.
Just one second.
Okay, wonderful. I can share it now. Okay, so let me know once you can see my screen.
Yes, we
You can see
can.
it? Awesome. Okay. So what is this rule anyways? There's so many rules you hear out there, right? 80, 20, 10, 10, 30, 50, 20, 30. All these numbers are just throwing out there. Rule of 72. Like what really is it about? So this is the budgeting guideline that allocates 50% of your income to your essential expenses, right? So this is pretty much things that is mandatory. You have to have every, daily basis, right? 20% goes to savings and 30% towards that discretionary spending that you talked about earlier, like the birthday parties. So let's take a look at it here. So if we look at our fixed expenses, we are going to talking about rent, utilities, car payment, groceries. These are things that are fixed. So they're usually the same every month and we need them. They're necessities. They're mandatory, right? The groceries you can waiver a little bit there. Some things that, but it's essential for life. You must have these things. And then we have the flexible spending. So this is where you're dining out, right? Your clothing, your entertainment, your travel. This 30%, this can fluctuate because it's not mandatory. This is what we call that's where you're going to use your discretionary income. And then we have 20%. So here, if we're in debt, first and foremost, we want to be, putting the majority of that 20% on paying back our debt so we can get out of debt. So that way we're not paying interest to someone else. Then we can start saving that so that we can get a good rate of return, right? But essentially, you have to do them both at the same time, right? You got to walk and chew gum at the same time because if you just wait until you pay off all of your bills, which will be revolving all the time, then you never save, then you're only going to start saving when it's maybe very, very late for you because in saving, you need time as well, right? You need a lot of time and you need to get a good rate of return on your money. So for saving and debt repayment, you want to save so that you have your emergency fund investments, save for your future, for your retirement. And for paying off, maybe you want to pay off all your student loans, your credit card debt, those type of things, right? Pay down your mortgage. So those are the things that you want to make sure that you do your savings and debt repayment at 20%. These numbers, they can fluctuate depending on your fixed expenses. If your fixed expenses are not as great, right? So suppose you're a student and you live at home and you don't have the mortgage, then you can put a lot more into your saving and you will have a lot more discretionary income for your flexible spending. Did you have any questions about the 50-30-20 rule?
Well, that's a
Oh,
great technique, I can see. It's really great technique to handle the expenses. So let's go to the technology a little bit. So are there any budgeting tools or apps you recommended to help single parents track their spending more easily?
oh my goodness, there are so many. You could probably just Google, and there's so many. But I know for my particular company, World System Builder, the platform that I'm a part of for this financial literacy campaign, we do have savings calculators on there. So you can go to worldsystembuilder.com, and there's savings calculators on there. There's investment calculators on there, and then you put in what you want. So if you want to have, $1 million by age 50, you put that in, and it'll calculate how much you need to save monthly in order to get that money. If you want to save up for a down payment for a house, you put it in and it'll tell you. Or if you only have a certain amount of money, say you have $20 that you want to save, you can put that in and it'll tell you how much you're going to get in the next 10, 20, 30 years at a certain interest rate. So you can go ahead and use all of those calculators, and they have debt calculators too to show you how fast you can pay off your debt as well.
Well, that's very interesting. I was not
Mhm.
aware about all these things. So
Mhm.
like now what I'm saying that it is not only for the single parents, it is for everyone. Anyone
Yes.
can use if even I am thinking that I will like search about all these things and I will start that apps. That's a really interesting. Thank you so much, Stacy.
You're
So
welcome.
you have give us a like very great knowledge regarding the budget that are like really important things, and I discovered how I can manage the things. Even it was like I have heard 50-30-20 rule, but I was not aware how to manage that rule, how to like
Oh,
work on it. But now I give a like brief explanation, and that would be very helpful for me. Thank you. So
wow.
now let's start the smart saving strategies as we have covered the budgeting part. So as a single parent, saving can sometimes feel impossible. So especially when money is tight. So Stacy, what's your advice for single parents looking to build an emergency fund, and how much should they aim to save?
Okay, that is an excellent question. So yeah, as we know right now, so many families are living paycheck to paycheck, right? We do live in one of the wealthiest countries in the world, but unfortunately, so many people have money problems. So there's always an emergency, right? Life is always lifing, right? Either the car breaks down or the dishwasher or there's some other kind of medical emergency. But throughout life, there's always something. And especially it is like double time as a single parent, right? So as a single parent, now you being the only breadwinner and being responsible for example, myself, I have four kids. So even though I have twins and they're 23, as young adults, I'm still responsible for them, as well as my 16, 17-year-old daughter, she's 17 now, and my 14-year-old son. So having all of that pressure on one person, it can sometimes seem overwhelming, as Karen said. So there's certain things that you can do in order to help making sure that you're able to manage your money and to be able to budget better, right? So, I'm sorry, just I wasn't sure if she's on or off or like, should we continue? Because I don't see her.
Yes, I'm on. I was
Oh,
listening all the things. That is really
okay.
amazing. Yes. So
Okay,
sorry
sorry
about
about
that.
that. And
No,
sorry,
no.
the end part of your question, can you just repeat it? The
Yes,
end.
how much like they aim to save
Okay,
like
yes,
for the
emergency
emergency
fund.
fund.
Yes,
Yeah.
perfect, perfect. I got distracted. I was confused. So yes,
Sorry.
so in general, they say that the normal rule is 3 to 6 months, right, of your monthly expenses. But guess what happened during COVID? People were laid off for over a year, right? So we highly recommend people to get to that point of 12 months or more of emergency funds. So that means that if anything happens to you, you lose your job, you get sick, at least you have your expenses saved up for the next 3 to 6 months or 6 to 12 months. Now, emergency fund is not a credit card, right? That is money put away somewhere separate that you can't easily access it. Maybe you put it in a tax-free saving account, you put it somewhere there. It's not going to be easy for you to just tap, tap, tap your phone and it comes out, right? So you want to have that there in case of an emergency, like your car breaks down and you need you need something to fix your car, or something happens, back home and you have to send money back home, right? Or like we're dealing with independent parents, single parents, something, your kid needs something, right? So it's important to have that money set aside because throughout life, there's always some type of emergency, right? Would you agree?
Yes,
Mhm.
well, that's an interesting thing, which remind me my mother, or I can say the Indian mothers. Well,
Mhm.
what they do, they hide that, like, of course, they get the salary and all that thing, so they hide some money, in anywhere. No one is aware about that money. So
Mhm.
when there is a like harsh situation arrived, so at that time, from like somewhere, mother comes like, I have the money. We are like, how you have the money? So she says that I have hidden it. So it is the Indian style. Like, I don't know about other nations, but
Mhm.
the mothers, the ladies in India, they hide some money, like 10%, 5%, so that the other family members can use it whenever there is like any harsh situation. So they are the savior at that time.
Very smart. Yeah, they say save for a rainy day, right?
Yeah.
So,
Right. I have a question like, what if you are living like pay to paycheck, and how you can start saving when it feels like they are barely enough to cover like the bills?
that is an excellent question. And that's what a lot of people are going through right now.
Right.
And it looks like it's a lot more people are going to be getting into that situation. So I would say that there's only two ways. One, either you got to reduce your spending. So you really have to take a fine-tooth comb and look through everything and see where you can cut back. Or two, increase your income, right? So maybe that means that you have to think about not necessarily getting one and two and three more jobs, because guess what? As an independent parent, you can't really do that because you need to spend that time with the child. But also having one and two more jobs, actually, you really end up just paying for taxes. So what I suggest to people, if you have something that you love, there's a hobby that you love, register that as a business. Because as a business owner, now, this is a capitalist country. You get to write off a lot of taxes. You get to get a lot of privileges and perks as an entrepreneur. So even though maybe you have a full-time job, you can find something to do like a side hustle that you're able to bring more money in when you're able to. Maybe you're able to work from home that way you can still spend time with your children and be able to increase your income. Those are the only two ways. Either you reduce your spending, which a lot of people are right, they're already there at the bottom, or you increase your income.
Right. This is the good way to save money. Like for like it also help in saving the money for future, as well as as you said, we can like minimize the taxes as well.
Mhm.
Right.
So I have a question like I found that even saving just a small percentage every month makes a big difference over time. What do you think about automating savings, like having a small amount deducted from each paycheck?
Oh, that's one of the excellent ways to go because guess what? It's gone before you even see it. So you don't really feel it like that. Just like how your taxes come out first, that go to CPP, that go to different things, those come out first, right? So the same way, then you won't really notice it. It's actually a mindset as well, right? So you want to have that mentality of saving and investing. Right now, the majority of people are spenders, right? We're consumers. It's easy for us to tap, 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 tap. You know what I would say to you? What can you buy with $10 a day?
Like one meal, we can say.
That's you sure? Maybe,
Maybe
From the
maybe,
Tim Hortons.
right?
maybe not
Maybe
From
just
we can say like a coffee and cake from the Tim
exactly
Hortons or a cookie.
$10. Maybe you can just get a bubble tea, right?
yeah.
Right.
Um, but you know that $10 a day, you know what that equals to? Times 30, $300 a month. Right.
Right.
So if I say to somebody, can you save $300 a month? They're like, oh, no, no, no. Can you save $10 a day? Can you spend $10 a day? So easy. Tap, 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 tap. Easy. Right. You get a bubble tea here, you get a Tim Hortons there, you get a Starbucks there. You spend way more than $10 a day. If you eat out for lunch, you spend way more than $10 a day. So why can't you be intentional and save $10 a day? Right. It's a mindset, it's a shift, it's a habit as well. So maybe you have to pack your lunch. and save that lunch money. Do you know if you save $10 a day and you're only like 25 years old and you save and then you stop saving in a few years, you will have so much money. You'll have like, I think it's over, I can't remember the exact number there, but I believe it's over $500,000, right? So these are some of the things that we teach in our classes as well. So we have complimentary financial literacy classes, and they're every day, Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. or 10. Just like this on Zoom, you don't have to be on camera or anything, and just come and you learn. And they talk in particular about those particular savings, what you can actually do, which is $10 a day. You don't have $10 a day, start with five. You don't have $5 a day, start with $1, right? A
Right.
dollar a day, that's $30 a month. Put that away in a tax-free savings, getting some interest on it over time, you'll see how much that makes a huge difference.
Well,
Right.
I'm totally agree to you. Even I like started this.
Mhm.
I'm a big food lover. So whenever I go out, like I see restaurant or any cafe, I'm like, I wanna eat this. I am hungry. If I don't eat, I will die. So what I start like having lunch and meals with me. So after that, like when I have food, I feel hungry. Like uh it's okay. I'm not hungry. No worries. So because I have a meal, but so I stopped and I saved a lot of money on that month. I only spent, I can say, $50 on the food, and that was a great thing for me. So that is a like a very good strategy if anyone applies it. So there are definitely like some tools like cashback apps or reward programs that can help single parents save in small ways. So do you have any favorite you recommend for families?
Well, definitely when you go to the grocery store, because that's everybody, like I said, that's a necessity. So when you go to the grocery store to price match. So price match for sure, you can price match, and that store will match whatever the lower price is from another store. And I believe there's an app on the phone called Flips, and there's different coupons and stuff that you can get there as well. And yeah, sometimes you do want to eat out too, but why not use an app where you can get, something free or you can get some discounts on it? There's so many. Like sometimes you have to sign up for rewards and different free things. And I know for your birthday, for sure, there's so many places where you can get free things. So definitely sign up the memberships. And then if you don't want to keep those emails coming, then you just delete it after cancel.
So,
Yes.
like, we shouldn't be forgetting about community resources. Things like financial aid or affordable childcare program can really help reduce costs. So, are there any local or government programs you suggest parents look into?
Well, from what I know in terms of Ontario government, but they're changing all the time, so don't quote me. But I believe that there's supposed to be $10 a day daycare maximum or something along those lines. I'm not sure if it's already um, instill like I don't know if it started yet or not, but I know that that was something that they wanted to implement. Also, if you want to look into saving for your child for the future, so if you do something called registered education savings plan, then that will help them so they don't have to graduate with a huge debt with student loan, right? So the registered education savings plans, RESP, they will give you 20%. They'll match 20% of what you put in up to a certain amount, right? And if you are already in a low income bracket, then they also give you extra grants there as well. And also in terms of, saving for your child's education for the future, there are also many, many, many scholarships that can be awarded to people on a financial basis. So if you're in a lower income bracket, you can get many scholarships and grants and even loans because of being in a lower income bracket, which may be the case if you're an independent single parent.
Sure. We will share those resources in our next episode for everyone who needs them.
Awesome.
Yes, like there are a lot of like helpful things you are saying about the scholarships, the grants and apps. So definitely everyone need that kind of assistance. So for everyone, we will add all the things. So now let's talk about the future because now whatever we are doing, that is for future. So we say like we are earning, we are studying, and everything is for the future. So how do single parents plan for things like retirement? And what should they prioritize when managing debt?
Okay, so as I was saying earlier, yeah, you have to like, you can't be so busy, like with your head down now that you don't plan for your future, right? So there's something called the X curve concept. It's actually here. I'm going the opposite way this way. There's the X curve concept, which shows the responsibility curve goes down as you get older. So you shouldn't have all, the kids should be grown up and gone out, the mortgage paid off for. So you should have less responsibility as you get older. So now, as you're young, the other curve should be going up. So that's the wealth curve. So you should be increasing your wealth over time, right? So either you have a business bringing you in cash flow, or you have the equity in your home that's growing, or you have some investments in registered retirement savings plans, tax-free savings, different type of investments, mutual funds. So that will be increasing your wealth over time. So if you take a look at something simple like the X curve factor, that can show you what you need to do and how you need to plan for your future. A lot of people know like their SIN number, right? You guys all know your SIN number, but
Yes.
do you know what your FIN number is? FIN, your FIN number. Do you know that one?
No.
No? Okay, so that's your financial independent number. So that's the number that you need, the amount of money that you're going to need to retire at whatever age you choose to retire, right, Kiran? So say you want to retire at age 50, right? The great thing is people are living longer now. So suppose you're going to live till 100, right? That's 50 years in retirement. How are you going to support that? You have to have a certain amount of money and know that, you still have bills, right? Even if you paid off your house, you still have property tax, you still have to eat, you might still have car insurance to pay. You're going to have a phone bill for sure, right? So the bills are still there. So you need to be getting paid. So if you look at an average, like the typical retirement, 65, and the average death, 85, that's 20 years in retirement. So right now, if you're making $50,000 and thinking about the future, if you want to have that same amount of money, so you'll need minimum $1 million, right, to last you from age 65 to 85.
Yes.
You don't want to run out of money in retirement, right? And a lot of people, they don't really, because I'm a registered retirement analyst as well, so I see a lot of people's portfolio when they're older, and it's unfortunate that many people are retiring in poverty due to living longer. You will experience sickness, right? You might need long-term care. You might need, OHIP doesn't cover everything in your medical bills, right? So unfortunately, that eats up a lot of people's retirement money, and people are not ready they don't understand, they don't know that they're going to be in trouble if they don't start saving at a young age for their future, right? You can't be too busy working now just for your family and not think about your own self in the future.
So,
Yes.
is it realistic for single parents, especially, to invest when their budgets are tight? Like, and what's the first step to get started with investing?
So, I think that it's not so much to think about. Like I said, it's a mindset, right? Yes, things are tight, but you have to save for your future, right? It's like today is the best day because tomorrow never comes. You're always going to put it off tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. And the best thing is to start early. If you wait longer, it's going to cost you a lot more, right? If someone who is 25, they start saving now, maybe they can just save $10 a day. But if you wait till you're my age, you're going to have to save like 1,000 something a month in order to get to that same $1 million, right? Because now we have a shorter time frame, so we have to compact it. So it's important, like it's a must. You really have to save for your future.
Right. Like basically, when I get my pay, I used to save 10% of it so that it will help me in future.
Excellent. That's an excellent, excellent start. If
Yeah.
you can save more, I would until you have to scale back. Like if you don't have a family yet and you're able to save 20, 30%, do it because later on in life you might not be able to save, right?
Right.
Mhm.
Even I also know a lot of parents who might feel like retirement age is too far, like, but the early starting, like starting early, even with the small contribution, can make a like huge difference, as we know,
Huge,
right?
huge difference. Yes, because
So,
it
what do you think
compounds.
about that?
Mhm. Yes, it makes a huge difference because if you know the rule of 72, if you understand that one, you know that your money compounds. So the earlier you get started with that compounding interest, then the faster your money is going to double. So it's very, very important to start early. I wish I knew all of this stuff when I was your age, right? And trust me, by the time you blink, the look at it, we're in March of 2025 already, right? The
Right.
first quarter is almost done.
Yes. Yes, time is running. I can say not running, it is flying. So, like, it's just last at 2023, we were back home, and now it's almost we are like completing our course. Yes.
Mhm.
So, well, like if I talk about all the things, it is great to know that there are a lot of options when we things feel tight. And but I want to know what about the government benefits? Like, are there any program that single parent should be taking advantage of to help with the things like health care and child care?
Okay, so specific government programs, I know that there are different companies that help out with things for children's. Like I know my son is a part of Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Like there's different programs, and when you go to those programs, and that's when you find out about different opportunities and different bursaries and different things. And sometimes it's not necessarily government, but it could be private as well. In terms of government, probably they change so often, right? So you probably have to, if you just Google it and you're going to see like a list of things. So it depends on which province you live in. It might even depend on which region, right? So this is Peel region where I live, they have maybe different programs than Durham region, right? So I would say that one you have to look that up because it changes so often.
So, do you have any stories or examples of single parents who have turned their finances around after following some of these strategies?
Oh, well, the best example is myself.
Yeah.
So I'm a divorced mom with four, and I was able to change my family's legacy by implementing investing in savings. So I was able to open up an insurance policy, which gave me proper protection as well. And within there, I'm able to save so that my children's children will have, um, will be financially secure, right? But the biggest thing is the financial literacy. So, I mean, you can always leave your kids a ton of money, but it can just be gone in the next generation. So the most important thing is for them to get the information and the knowledge. So I make sure that anytime there's workshops or stuff, I always involve my children. So I make them sit on the Zoom and they learn and they understand from they were very young. Right. So from my daughter was 12 and she decided, oh, she wants to open up her own bakery. Right. So she was able to start making cupcakes and everywhere we go, she's able to, sell those cupcakes and start her own entrepreneurship and start understanding how money works. So I think the biggest thing that you can give to your children is the financial literacy, the education to give them that knowledge. And that's going to make a huge difference in their lives.
Yeah, it's really inspiring. Like you taught your children about how to like make money more and more, right? And even having a four children's, and you really did a like great job. Like it's an inspiration for not only us, for other as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, knowing that, that is really great. Like the person who is giving the information, that person is like, firstly, that person done all that things. After that, that person is giving the information. Like you are a huge, I can say that example for everyone who are feeling demotivated. You are like going to encourage a lot of people, not only single mothers, but everyone. You are a like great example. Thank you so much for sharing all your expertise with us today. You have given us a lot of practical strategies that will really help our listeners take control of their finances. Like everyone, that is like great knowledge. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Karen.
So, to recap, like start with a budget, prioritize building an emergency fund, and don't afraid to start small when saving or investing.
Definitely.
And remember, it's all about creating a plan like that works for you and for your family. Even small steps can make a big change.
So, thanks again, Stacey Thomas, and thank you all of our listeners for tuning in. Be sure to follow us for more episodes and don't forget to share this with any single parent, mother, woman, or anyone who might find this helpful. So, we have also linked all the resources, tools, and tips discussed in today's episode below. So, be sure to check this out. So, thank you and
Thanks
be
for
connected with
listening.
Thank
RT.
you.
Thank you
We'll see you
guys.
next
Have a
time.
blessed
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.